Hi, I'm Daniel, and now it's time for a proper Halloween video after two kind of Halloween videos this month. Anyway, The Simpsons had a Halloween special every season aside from season 1, and each episode is a combination of 3 segments. So that's 90 segments in total. I just want to say disclaimer that Treehouse of Horror 31 isn't out at the time of writing, and there is a rule of only one segment per episode. 10. Cora Yisa. Yisa enters another world through a tiny store, which she can stay in if buttons are sewn in her eyes, and after seeing how her family is, she chooses the buttons. This is one of the better movie parodies, because it actually differentiates itself from Coraline by having Yisa stay, and eventually Bart and Marge going to that world. It also has great CGI animation which both looks good and it fits the tone of that world by looking creepy. Make another segment I'll discuss later. 9. Terror of Tiny Toon. Bart and Lisa get trapped in the TV and Itchy and Scratchy try to kill them. This segment has quite a good concept and it is very funny. 8. The Monkey Paw. Homer gets a monkey paw that grants wishes, but the wishes backfire against them. This segment is the classic be careful what you wish for story and it's great. It even has meta-ness of how much Simpsons merch there is and how people are getting tired of them. This was season 3 by the way, little did they know they'll have 10 times more seasons. 7. Hungry Are the Damned. The Simpsons get abducted by aliens and Lisa thinks the aliens are going to eat them. This was the second Treehouse of Horror segment and Kank and Kodo's first appearance, and they end up having brief appearances in all of the Treehouse of Horror episodes. I think Kank and Kodos are better portrayed in this episode because they are actually good instead of evil, which I think is a better interpretation of them. 6. Easy Bacon Coven. In 1600s Springfield, Marge is put on a witch trial, but turns out to actually be a witch, and she swears to eat everyone's children. This segment gets a lot of comedy out of how stupid witch trials were, and it has a good origin of how Halloween started, which isn't expected by the start of it. 5. School is Hell. Bart transfers to a school in hell, and he actually gets good grades for once. Treehouse of Horror 25 for the second best Treehouse of Horror episode because all 3 segments deserve a spot in at least the top 15. School in Hell is the best out of the 3 segments for having good comedy and Hell is really well designed. 4. The Ned Zone. Flanders gets powers to see how people die and finds out he either has to shoot Homer or let Homer blow up Springfield. This is a really intense segment with great concept and great comedy to contrast with that. 3. The Shinning. When Mr. Burns gets Homer Simpson a workout and takes away his TV and beer, Homer starts killing his family. Treehouse of Horror 5 is the best Halloween special for having 2 really great segments. Time and Punishment is weaker. And the great ending, opening and running gag. Anyway, this segment deserves to be the fan favourite for being really funny. 2. Homer Simpson and the Devil. Homer sells his soul to the devil, cast as Ned Flanders, for a donut and his family has to get him out through a trial. Ned Flanders is surprisingly good as the devil for being both comedic and intimidating, and the twist ending is clever writing. This segment is amazing, but one of the best jokes was the Yeeters scene Yeeters shown in the 138th episode Spectacular. Now, honourable mentions are How to Get Ahead in Advertising, dial M for Murder, or press to return to the main menu, Heck House and BFF RIP. 1. Homer Cubed. Homer finds a hole in the wall that leads to a 3D CGI world. The story of entering a new world that is strange and new is really fitting for a Halloween special. Also, the CGI animation is great for coming out as the same year as Toy Story. It looks a bit creepy, but it fits the story and it wouldn't be as good if the animation was keen. It's interesting to imagine what this episode was reacted to when CGI was new, and whether we'll get the same impression if a new animation thing launched today. It gets you thinking, and that's why it's the best Treehouse of Horror segment in my opinion. In my opinion, these episodes got worse as they went on. Notice that 5 to 7 of this list is old Simpsons. Even if you look at my ranking of the best segments from each episode, it is still clear older Simpsons is better. The end.